Transportation in animals and plants. Circulatory system. In our body, there is present a network of tubings which connect each organ, tissue and cell to other. It connects one cell to another so that the useful products like food, hormones that are produced in one organ can reach other organ where they are required. For example, enzyme, insulin, which is produced in pancreas is carried by blood to different parts of body and reach liver for its proper function. It decreases the level of glucose in blood. This circulatory system consists of the following: a main pumping station, heart; blood vessels that make a network of arteries and veins; blood, a fluid medium for transportation. Blood. Blood is a fluid medium for transportation. Every cell in our body needs food and oxygen for its activity, and at the same time it releases carbon dioxide and nitrogenous wastes which have to be excreted from our body. This supply of material to the cells and removal of wastes from the cells is carried out by circulating blood. Blood is a red-colored, viscous liquid flowing in blood vessels. When accidentally we get a wound or cut on our body, it is this blood that oozes out from the body. This gives us a clear picture that the blood vessels are situated somewhere near the skin surface. Composition of blood. Blood consists of two parts: plasma, the liquid part; corpuscles, the solid part. Plasma. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. It is yellowish in color due to dissolved mineral salts and nutrients. Its major component is water. Corpuscles. The corpuscles, or the blood cells, are of three types: red blood cells, or RBCs; white blood cells, or WBCs; platelets. Red blood cells, or RBCs. Red blood cells are circular without nucleus. These contain hemoglobin, which is a carrier of oxygen. Hemoglobin, heme, stands for iron, globin for proteins, binds with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin and hence transports it. On reaching cells, it gives off oxygen and binds with carbon dioxide to form carboxyhemoglobin, which is then taken to lungs for its exhalation. White blood cells, or WBCs. WBCs are concerned with the defense of our body against infection. These cells fight against germs that may enter our body. Platelets. These are very minute cells present in blood. They help in clotting of blood. Functions of blood. Transport of nutrients. It transports glucose, amino acids, etc. from small intestine to all parts of the body. Transport of gases. It transports oxygen from the lungs to cells and carbon dioxide from cells to the lungs. Distribution of hormones. It distributes hormones from the area where they are produced to all parts of the body. Regulation of body temperature. It regulates the body temperature by distributing heat equally in the different parts of the body. Prevents loss of blood. It prevents excessive bleeding by blood clotting. Resistance to diseases. It forms antibodies which prevent many diseases. Secondly, it protects against diseases by destroying the disease-causing germs. Blood vessels. Blood, being a liquid, needs a vessel in which it has to be enclosed. Since it is medium of transportation, it has to be present in all parts of body. Thus, thin tubular vessels are present in all parts of body which contain blood. Thus, there are three kinds of vessels to enclose blood. These vessels are known as arteries, veins, capillaries. Arteries. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Heart is the major pumping organ, and it has to pump blood to all parts of the body through these arteries, which possess thick and more muscular walls. Blood flows with jerks and under great force. Blood flows through arteries. These are closely placed on superficial layer of skin near the wrist. Hence, when you place the middle and index finger of your hand on the inner side of your left wrist, you will feel some throbbing movement. This throbbing, caused due to blood flowing in the arteries, is called a pulse. Pulse is a regular jerk of an artery. We can count the number of pulse beats by noting down the value of throbbings. The number of jerks per minute is called the pulse rate. These waves occur on an average about 74 times per minute in a healthy person, which represents the number of heartbeats. Veins. A vein is a vessel which carries impure blood from an organ towards heart. Veins have comparatively thin and less muscular walls. Since the organs use the oxygen, hence it carries deoxygenated blood which flows smoothly with jerks. Capillary. A capillary is a very narrow tube whose walls are really thin so that exchange of nutrients, waste products and gases can take place between the blood and body fluids. These form a closed network in the organs. Differences between artery, vein and capillary. Arteries. Veins. Capillaries. Thick-walled vessels with a narrow lumen. Thin-walled vessel with a wide lumen. Very thin vessels with a small lumen. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Veins bring blood into the heart. Capillaries deliver blood to the organ. Arteries are situated in the deeper region of the body. Veins are superficial in position. Capillaries are placed very deep and they form network in the organs. Its wall is impermeable to gas and other substances. Its wall is also impermeable. Its wall is permeable and diffusion of gases and other substances occurs through its walls. Arteries carries oxygenated blood except the pulmonary arteries. Veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary veins. Carries both type of blood, oxygenated as well as deoxygenated. Heart. Heart is an organ which beats continuously to act as a pump for the transport of blood. Many people believe that heart is on the left side of the chest, but that is not true. It lies right in the center between the two lungs. But the narrow end is pointed to the left side, where contraction of the heart is more powerful, giving us the feeling that heart being on the left side. Size of heart. roughly saying the heart has the size of your fist. Heart receives purified blood from the lungs, which is pumped to different parts of body. The impure blood collected from different organs is pumped back to the heart, from where it is sent to the lungs for oxygenation. It seems that oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will mix with each other in the heart. But it never happens because heart is divided into 4 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are known as auricles, and the lower 2 are known as ventricles. Circulation of blood starts with the contraction of 2 auricles. When auricles contract, ventricles relax and the blood from auricles passes into the ventricles. The right auricles open into the right ventricle and the left auricle opens into the left ventricle. But the flow of blood is unidirectional. Thus, the oxygenated blood from the lungs is received in the left auricle, which then passes to the left ventricle, from where it is circulated to the entire body parts. Similarly, the deoxygenated blood from various parts of body is received in the right auricle. The blood vessel which carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs is known as pulmonary artery. The blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood to the organs of body is known as aorta. Heartbeat. The walls of the chamber of the heart are made up of muscles. These muscles contract and relax rhythmically, resulting in heartbeats. These successive contractions and relaxations produce lub and dub sound and constitute a heartbeat. The heartbeat can be felt by placing the hand on the left side of the heart. The doctor measures heartbeats with an instrument known as stethoscope. Heartbeat does not remain same at all instances. It increases during the time of physical activity, mental stress, and strain, and decreases at the time of rest. Excretion. The food we consume contains some vital nutrients required for the growth and maintenance of the body. At the same time, some toxic chemicals are also produced, which have to be eliminated from the body. Not only toxic chemicals, but waste gases and undigested food has to be removed from the body. If these toxic wastes accumulate in the body, they act as poison and cause much harm, and in severe cases, even death. The organs which remove these substances are called excretory organs, and the process of removal of these unwanted waste from the body substances is called excretion. Excretion is the process of removal of all toxic and unwanted products, especially the nitrogenous products, from the body. Type of wastes. Waste generated in living organisms is basically classified into 3 categories, that is, solid, liquid, and gaseous. These wastes differ in nature and composition depending on living organisms. For example, in case of human beings, solid waste is excreted in the form of feces, liquid in the form of urine, and gaseous in the form of carbon dioxide. In case of plants, we have carbon dioxide and oxygen as the gaseous waste, water as the liquid waste, and raphides, nicotine, as the solid waste. Excretion in plants. Plants do not possess specific excretory organs. They have small pores on the leaf surface. Through these small pores, the plants eliminate oxygen and, at night, eliminate carbon dioxide. Excess salts are deposited in the form of crystals either in the bark of stem or leaves or in the peel of fruits. Sometimes such deposits make it taste bitter. Example, the peel of orange contains a little of quinine crystals. These waste materials may or may not be harmful to plants, but their retention in the plant may block or stop one of the useful phenomena, and hence excretion of these substances becomes a must. Excretion in animals. Animals have a more complex mechanism for excretion. The nutrients required by the body are retained by the body, and the excess unwanted substances are excreted by the body. Substances to be excreted out are mainly urea and uric acid, water, extra salts which are not needed by our body, extra vitamins and minerals, unwanted medicines, and antibiotics. If these substances are retained in the body, they may cause damage to the internal tissues and organs. Hence, their elimination becomes a must. Excretory organs in humans. Animals have following organs for excretion: lungs. Excess of carbon dioxide is excreted through the lungs. Sweat glands. These are present in the skin and they help in excretion of various salts, water and oil. When water from sweat evaporates, it leaves white patches behind. These patches are due to the salts which are left behind after evaporation of water. Kidneys. These are the main excretory organs and they help to filter blood and throw out the waste in the form of urine. Excretory system in humans. Blood is the circulatory fluid which helps to transport useful and harmful products to the main excretory organ, that is kidney. Kidneys are the bean-shaped organs located on the either side of backbone. These help in filtration. Kidneys contain a group of blood capillaries which bring about this process. When the blood reaches the two kidneys, it contains both useful and harmful substances. The useful substances are absorbed back into the blood, whereas the unwanted substances are dissolved in water and removed as urine. This urine passes through ureter and then collects in urinary bladder and gets excreted out through urethra. Artificial kidney. A normal human being has two kidneys which work with same efficiency. If one kidney is damaged, then the other kidney is sufficient for excretory needs. But failure of both kidneys would lead to death. The reason being that due to the result of kidney failure, the waste products start accumulating in the blood. Such a person cannot survive unless their blood is filtered periodically through an artificial kidney. This process is called dialysis. In dialysis, the patient's blood is taken from the radial artery in his arm through the machine in which cellophane membrane acts as filtrating media and removes urea and excess salts and then purified blood is returned to a vein in the same arm. This method artificially rids off all the unwanted products and increases the lifetime of the patient. Transpiration. Transpiration occurs along with photosynthesis. Transpiration can be defined as the process by which plants lose the water absorbed by the roots through stomata present in the leaves. Plants absorb mineral nutrients and water from the soil. Not all the water is utilized by the plant. Some of the water evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of leaves by transpiration. As a result, a suction pull is produced which can pull water to greater heights in the tall trees. Transport of substances in plants. Plants are photosynthetic, that is, they prepare their own food with the help of carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, and sunlight. Water and mineral salts are conducted from the soil by the roots and then transported to leaves where the process of photosynthesis takes place and the food is manufactured. This food is the basic source of energy which is utilized to carry out vital activities of life. This food is ultimately transported to all parts of the plant. Humans possess blood, which helps in the transportation of nutrients into the cells and waste materials out of the cell. But plants do not have blood. Water is transported to leaves through the roots. Transport of water and minerals. Water plays a vital role in the life of plants. It is the main solvent which is used to dissolve and transport minerals and nutrients. This water is absorbed by roots. The roots possess root hairs which increase the surface area of the root and helps in the absorption of water and mineral salts dissolved in water. A suction force is developed in plants due to transpiration pull, which leads to increased absorption of water from the plants. Vascular tissues are the vessels that carry water from the soil to the leaves. Vascular tissue. Plants contain pipe-like vessels to transport water and nutrients from the soil. The vessels are made of special dead cells. This conducting tissue, composed of number of cells, is known as vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Vascular tissue comprises of two types of vessels, that is, xylem vessels and phloem vessels. Xylem. Xylem vessels comprises of long tube-like structures which are hollow from within. This xylem forms a continuous network of channels that connects roots to the leaves through the stem and branches and thus transports water and minerals to the entire plant. Xylem vessels form conducting tissue, and even when the root is cut, plant can survive for a few days if suction of water takes place. Phloem. Normally the leaves are green due to chlorophyll. These green leaves trap the solar energy of sun and use this energy to join carbon dioxide and water molecules to form food substances, that is, glucose. This food material has to be transported to all parts of the plant. This is done by the vascular tissue, called the phloem. Thus, we see that xylem vessels transport water and mineral salts from roots to leaves, and phloem vessels transport food from leaves to all parts of the plant. Why does water move to the roots and why doesn't the water from the roots come out can be explained as follows. There are two regions of concentration. Region of high concentration. When the concentration of certain molecules is high, we call it a region of high concentration. Region of low concentration. When the concentration of certain molecules is low, we call it a region of low concentration. Thus, when two solutions of different concentrations are kept in close contact, the molecules move from the high concentration to the low concentration. Soil possesses water in high concentration as compared to plant root. Hence, water from soil enters into plant root, which is then transported to all parts of the plant, and this phenomenon is known as a special type of diffusion called osmosis. Osmosis. When the process of diffusion takes place through a semi-permeable membrane, it is known as osmosis. Thus, it can be defined as the process by which solvent molecules of water move from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane is known as osmosis. More number of water molecules will move from water to sugar solution, whereas very few molecules will pass from solution to pure water. This clearly indicates that the flow of molecules is from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration.